Hey guys, what is going on? It's Frostify here, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 best tools and gadgets you can have as a graphic designer in the year 2021. If you guys are in fact interested in joining a Discord community where everyone is super chill and friendly, you can do things like get ops on your work, talk to other creatives and other things like that. The link to my Discord server will be down below in the description for anybody who is interested. I appreciate you guys so much, and without further ado, let's get right into the video and find out what the best tools and gadgets are for graphic designers in the year 2021. Coming in at our 10th spot, we actually have two items, believe it or not. We have a calendar and a notebook. Now, I actually have a calendar and a notebook myself, and I can confidently say that these two tools help so much with organization. You can choose to utilize them however you want, but I personally use them like this. In the notebook, I do to-do lists for that certain day, and in the calendar, I write down things like when client projects are due, when certain events come up that I need to be there for, and other things like that. If you guys want the notepad and the calendar that I personally use, I will go ahead and link them down below in the description. Keep in mind that you have to buy calendars yearly, so if you find one that says 2020, it may not be accurate to the year 2021 and other things like that. Notebooks and calendars actually are not that hard to come by nowadays. You guys can simply find them at your Walmart, local Walgreens, or CVS if you have them, or simply on Amazon. This next gadget is actually very useful if you are a freelancer or a graphic designer who really likes to travel, and that is an external SSD hard drive. Now granted, SSDs are actually super duper expensive, but very much worth the price. SSD, for those of you who don't know what it means, it actually stands for solid state drive, and it is one of the fastest forms of hard drives you can get on the market. You can actually get these all over the place. Amazon, your local Best Buy, any place that sells gadgets, really, you can 100% buy them there. Another form of hard drive you guys can get if you're not exactly interested in traveling around and stuff is actually a HDD hard drive. Now granted, both of these you can take portably with you, whether or not you want to travel the world or you want to stay at home, but the SSD is going to be the way more faster option. Currently, at the moment, I have a Western Digital HDD hard drive. I highly recommend one of these if you guys do not travel much. They are a little bit chunky, as you can see. They are pretty big, but I can confirm to you guys that a hard drive is 100% going to be useful for you guys in your graphic design journey. I personally use my hard drive to do things like store client projects, store future projects, and just overall a whole bunch of projects to save up space on my PC. One of the things you want to note about the SSD and the HDD hard drives is the fact that the SSD is actually less fragile than the HDD hard drives, which is basically saying if you drop an HDD hard drive, you are most likely going to break it and lose everything on it, but if you get an SSD hard drive, you are less likely to lose anything on it if you drop it because everything is digital on it. I personally recommend both SSD and HDD, but if you're going to be traveling more and stuff like that and you really want that high speed of a hard drive, an SSD is going to be recommended since it is more accessible and easy to use on the go. Coming in at our next tool, I actually recommend any graphic design book that you are personally interested in. Currently, one of my favorite design books right now is the Designer's Dictionary of Color. This book is actually written by Sean Adams, and the whole premise of the book is to try to get you to grasp the concept of color keys in art and graphic design as a whole. One of the things I find really interesting about this book is the fact that the whole entire book is organized by color. So not only is it really informative about color and design, but it is also super amusing to look at as it is super colorful and it catches the eye as it should be teaching you. I'll leave the links to some really good design books down below in the description, including the Designer's Dictionary of Color. Next thing you're really going to want in the year 2021 as a graphic designer, and I cannot stress this enough, is a high resolution monitor. A high resolution monitor will definitely help out your design flow overall and will make your design piece look better in the end. And this is because you'll be able to see every pixel bit by bit, and you will also be able to design in HD quality for your clients or yourself or whoever you may be designing for at that time. Down below, I'll link some really good monitors that have good hertz and also really good resolution for your designs overall. Next up, we got one of my favorite tools, and it is actually going to be any productivity software on your computer. Now, if you guys actually don't know what a productivity software is, it's what I personally like to call the Google Basics. I'm talking about Spreadsheet, Google Docs, Google Drive. Any of those are going to be some of your best friends when designing. Currently, as of right now, I use Google Drive to send files back and forth to my clients if they need them. I use spreadsheets to do things like calculate tax, calculate how much money I'm making, and other things like that. Overall, these tools can be extremely helpful to you if you're trying to be more organized as a designer, and they all truly are just super helpful with keeping track of everything and keeping everything in one spot also. And of course, since it's on the go, it is extremely convenient because you can just log in and view anything you want wherever you want, whether or not it's from a mobile device or a desktop device, anything goes. Next up on the list is going to be a very comfortable chair, whether or not it's ergonomic or it's a simple gaming chair. Cannot stress stress enough how important it is to have a comfy chair, because sometimes you may be sitting down and doing design sessions up to 5 to 10 hours a day. Depending on what you plan to do and other things like that, an ergonomic chair or a simple comfortable chair is going to help you in the long run immensely. One chair that I'm using right now actually isn't ergonomic, but it is super comfortable, and that is the Secret Lab Titan. However, those chairs could get a little bit pricey, exactly the same as ergonomic chairs, so if you're looking for something on a budget, you might be better off getting a simple office chair with some nice back support. In the end, your chair is probably one of the most valuable assets you're going to have at your setup, especially as a graphic designer doing those long sit-ins and sessions while creating art. Next up, we actually have a gadget that isn't used much by designers, but it actually has so much functionality that a graphic designer could personally use, and that is the Elgato Stream Deck. Now, these are actually extremely popular amongst streamers, and I personally got my hands on one to kind of experiment with it and see what it does. And guys, let me tell you, this thing has so much functionality. You can use it to play songs, use it to open applications on your computer, check out things like live sub count or Twitter following. It could even open specific websites for you, and there is just so much more this Stream Deck can do. Now, am I saying it's required to have one of these while designing? Absolutely not, but when I tell you guys this thing increased my workflow, I truly mean it. Coming in at our next gadget, it is actually kind of meant for illustrators, but definitely can be used by any type of creative motion designer or graphic designer, and that is a graphics tablet. Now, I personally have never used a graphics tablet before, but I do in fact know some really good brands that could hook you up. Link will be down below in the description if any of you guys are interested in purchasing any of those. But graphics tablets are actually amazing for increasing workflow overall, and if you're an illustrator, it is going to be an absolute dream to get your hands on one of these, because it will become very easy to use and overall kind of like incorporate your drawings onto the actual Photoshop program or Illustrator or whatever you're using. So as far as I know, there's actually two different types of graphics tablets. There's one with a digital screen and one without a screen. Either way, they work exactly the same, but I think one is easier to use than the other. I'm not exactly too sure, but you guys can find these all over the place, whether or not it's in an electronics store or simply just on Amazon. Put some links down below for you guys if any of you guys are interested. Next up would actually be something I consider a necessity, and that is blue light glasses. Now, of course, granted, you definitely do not have to use these constantly, but I highly recommend it because blue light can be very damaging to the eyes, and if you're sitting at your computer screen for hours, you definitely want that blue light protection. Not only will it protect your eyes from any long-term damage, but it will also help you sleep in the long run, because, you know, looking at a technology screen definitely keeps you up longer at night. So if you're someone like me who definitely is looking at screens all the time 24/7, I highly recommend getting yourself a really good pair of blue light glasses just to protect your eyes and to keep everything good with the sleeping schedule and all of that. Coming in at our last and final spot, it is going to be the Grid Sketchbook. Now, these are going to be very helpful if you guys are interested in going into the logo design field, as they are mainly meant for sketching logos and other things like that. So basically what you get when you buy one of these is a notebook full of paper that just has dots on every single page, and you would then use these dots to actually, you know, sketch logos, sketch images, anything you really want in advance. I've personally worked with many logo designers, and almost every single one of them has one of these, so if you don't have one already and you're interested in doing logos, I highly recommend getting your hands on one of these ASAP. So guys, that's actually going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it so much. Every single product that I listed off will have their links down below in the description, as well as their prices if you guys are interested. Keep in mind, most of these items actually are brand based, so you may be able to get cheaper prices than the ones that are listed in the description below. But other than that, I really hope that this video helped you guys out in terms of finding new gadgets and other things like that. And I also want to let you guys know that I'm super down to make a part 2 to this video, so if you guys want to see it, go ahead and leave a comment down below. There's so many gadgets that I could have listed off in this video, but to keep it short, I just wanted to do a top 10. I will also have videos to certain products down below in the description done by other creators on YouTube to talk about the product and kind of list off some more fun facts about it. But other than that, guys, this has been Frostify. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you guys' supports. Every single link will be down below in the description, like I said. This has been Frostify, and I will see you guys this Friday with a new video. Peace out.